Alrighty, hello everybody, and here we go again. It's now March the 3rd, 3/03/2014. So we missed it by a good year. It would have been a nice number, 3/3/13. But here we go. We're going again for punch 2 in this winter season. Got us a little load of snow, which has almost about shut down here this entire neighborhood, including the downtown area. So we're gonna get us a closer look here on Dickerson Road. And of course, this is going to be another segment of breaking news. Here we go now. And here we are right off Pine Ridge Drive. What started out yesterday with severe rain that lasted pretty much all in through the evening hours, turning then into freezing rain and to kind of like icicles, then turned early this morning into snow. It wasn't really that kind of an accumulation that we actually expected to come around, but it will stick for the remainder of the day, and we still got slight little snow flurries now being hitting us in here as we speak. The temperatures will actually go down below 9 to 11 degrees depending on the situations and what part of town are we going to be in here. But it looks like we'll be getting us another memory here to deal with. So March the 3rd is another one for the book for 2014 here. Round 2 on the punchline after December the 10th. We took, of course, nightly snowfall video also available right here at Music Arts, which shows us night snow, which already had to go in the early morning hours. This one right here, everybody will enjoy that for the remainder of the rest of the day. This will not melt, and it looks like it's going to be around, not only for the day, but in quite some memories here to come. A road condition, quite not like what it's expecting to be, of course, but very slow traffic down on Hard Lane and on Dickerson Road. Normally we can say this road is much more busier than what it seems to be. Mailmen have not been sighted yet. I guess there is no mail today to be dealing with, but it looks like they might be either running late or not showing up at all. Of course, schools were closed for today and probably even until tomorrow, and this was a quick update with this whole situation here. And I might give us another little sneak preview, going over now to a little weather station, weather channel, and see how this whole thing will play out now for the next couple of days. Okay everybody, in the meantime here, back again on our little weather station here, and just about an hour later, coming back from the street level here, we're talking about now 23 degrees. Our radar here seemed to be kind of like clear looking, so there seemed to be no further threat of any snow or anything else like this in the making or coming up. In the meantime, we learned actually on headline news that we've made national news so far. We've had about 300 related weather accidents here in all of Tennessee combined with this whole situation here. And we also learned in the meantime that lots of shopping places, if they were open, they have now closed, like malls for instance, and other shopping centers. However, for the most cases here, there were not that many open businesses to begin with, if they actually had any employees or whoever actually made it to work. And for this particular case here, also I can say I've also not seen any mail transport going on like regular US mail or other mail carriers. So I guess a lot of people also have been without mail here for the first part of this beginning week here. So a lot of stuff probably gonna get out by Tuesday here. So again, here's the interesting part of what we're looking at. I'm not quite sure, it's a little bit quite shady since I had to zoom in into my screen here. Tonight we're expecting not to go much over 10 degrees. That is right, 10 degrees, and we haven't had this for a while here. So it's going to be an overnight frost situation going on. So from what the footage I've shown earlier, with all this nice little snow on the rooftop, light accumulation on some grasses and all this good stuff, probably will remain on the streets. And it looks like the streets are only limited with the snow now to the sidewalks. Streets themselves seem to be so far okay, but you never know how this whole situation progresses with any ice still remaining on the road. This could be quite treacherous, so if you don't have to be out there on the streets as we know it, that is probably the case, then nobody really should be out there. And the traffic also was quite very little, and we'll see this improvement here coming up. And again, it's quite a usual up and down what we're dealing with here again for our April the 4th, coming up into Tuesday. We'll get into the 36, so only very light above freezing, if even a little bit, and going back down to 21. Excuse me. Wednesday doesn't look too much better here either. The 5th, 51 degrees and 31 for low, and it remains for the most part during this whole week. 46 on Thursday, 58 on the Friday, then finally 61 on the Saturday again, and we seem to be coming quite to a very interesting pattern here, where we have on the weekends very nice temperatures, but always followed with some nice temperature drop down, followed by mostly rain, thunderstorms, and then little icicles going into snow. So this pattern here has been remaining for most part of always every weekend since the last, I would say, almost like a month and a half, maybe 2. We have been following on this pattern here. So that's quite interesting. We might have an interruption on this pattern here going on coming up this upcoming weekend. And then 62 coming up for Monday the 10th, low 42. It'll be the first time in a long time that we're actually dealing with above freezing temperatures, except of course 2 days ago when we had an overcast situation going on. Everybody might remember here the situation going Friday into Saturday, nice 50s overcast, and then the bitterly truth returned. Then the next week also Tuesdays, the high on the 11th will be 60s, and then 37 for low, 54, 33 for low, so it always remains here steadily on or around the freezing temperatures here. So this is something that we're still playing with in the long run, and thanks to our polar vortex, this is what it comes down to. Feels like 12 degrees right now, 23 at this moment the current temperatures. If everything works right this time, let's see how we're playing down to our otherworldly fellows, one of the coldest place in the world now, and here we're coming up to Yakutsk, which happens to be in Russia, and this is the Siberian weather issue right up in here. And let me see if I'd be capable of getting, yep, and here we're looking at Yakutsk in Russia, and so here it is. It could be a lot worse. Imagine yourself in a city similar in size to Nashville, and look at these temperatures now. They're actually warming up. This is now getting towards warmer weather, believe it or not, when we have today the issue going from a high of -10 to a low of -27, a high of -7 to a low of 33 on Wednesday the 5th. And it does actually look like 1 degree for the first time on Tuesday the 11th. Because usually those kind of guys remain very much in a deep freeze. So we're talking about deep freeze like of a high of -30 and a low between -50 and 60 degrees. Now how does that sound here? So at this moment right now, they're dealing actually during daytime. So they're getting into their morning hours, so to speak, of the next day, so to speak. So it's actually -11, feels like -23. So that's Yakutsk, Russia for you. Then you give yourself a little idea of where you could be sharing the most. My, of course, other original hometown, we're coming up to Mannheim, Germany, and there it goes into 39 degrees right over here. And if we're looking up in this weather right over here and look at this nice 10-day forecast, at least something quite similar what we have gotten through here, but with less rain or snow issues. It remains all steadies and 50s and gets into the 60s into the upcoming spring season right over here. So we're looking not so bad overall if we're comparing ourselves now to where we are right now over here. And we got ourselves now down to 23 degrees, which feels like, again, the 12. So from all those 3 cities combined, we're sitting here in a nice little mid-range situation here. So there doesn't look like that anything else like better going towards the middle European, or kind of like on the other side going towards the very much Siberian sector hits us up. It very much looks like it's going to get warmer, and I believe for the most part we're probably out of the woods with the snow and the other crazy things to come and be hitting us up. So that was Martin here again, giving you up a little thumbs up and updates, and of course this will be all very interesting to look at in days, months, weeks, and years to come when we see and look back and see what happened here, you know, March and April, that kind of stuff. Yeah, you may not believe it, but it's really true, and we have probably the most detailed weather footage ever since we got this whole thing started since last year, December, where we actually came into our cold taste buds for October, with even the first spills in late September. So it all has gotten into quite some interesting ups and downs. Well, like I said, we had the first snow footage at December the 10th, and then with ups and downs again. This is also, of course, footage you can see right here. Amazingly, it has already way over 120 viewers, I think, right now. It's the actual winter day, first day of winter, and it runs in Nashville, Tennessee, first day of winter. Also the amazing footage of a tornado warning and way up into 70 degrees. So here's a little roller coaster we've been going through, and this one of the most coldest spills we've had so far, but thanks to a polar vortex. So we all keep it in mind, and thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more great things to come. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.